space was quiet, too quiet. Not the natural silence of the void, but the tense, electric stillness of a battlefield before the first shot. Admiral Cale Thorin of the Zenari Dominion stood on the observation deck of the Vathar Prime, watching the fractured remains of what had once been a proud human fleet. Twisted hulls drifted, lifeless, among the stars. A few escape pods flickered faint distress signals, but none dared approach. The humans had resisted longer than expected, far longer, but as always, the Dominions will prevailed. Status report, Cale Thorin demanded, his voice low and gravelly. Final human resistance has been neutralized in the Perseus sector, his second-in-command hissed. Dominion supremacy is now uncontested. The humans are broken. The Admiral nodded slowly, his 6 golden eyes scanning the wreckage. It was over. Earth's defenders were scattered, its colonies burning. The galaxy would finally kneel to the Dominion without question. And then, space rippled. At first, it looked like a sensor glitch. A faint distortion near the outer rim of the system, a shimmer, as if light itself hesitated to pass. Then came the gravitational wake, enough to make the Vathar Prime's inertial dampeners groan. Report! Cale Thorin barked. Unknown mass signature, enormous, the sensor officer stammered. Emerging from, no, tearing through, hyperspace corridor. Sir! I have never seen a drive signature like this. Cale Thorin narrowed his eyes. Put it on screen. The view screen magnified, and the distortion became a blinding lance of blue-white light. And then it appeared, massive, angular, bristling with weaponry. Its hull was matte black, absorbing starlight, with a faint pulse of crimson along its flanks like a beating heart. A warship. But no warship Cale Thorin had ever seen. The Dominion fleet went silent, stunned by the sight. The wreckage of humanity's last fleet still floated all around them, and yet here, from nowhere, came a ship that radiated menace like a living thing. Inside the ship, Captain Marcus Hale stood on his command deck, hands clasped behind his back, eyes fixed on the tactical display. Status, he asked calmly. All systems green, replied Lieutenant Sarah Reyes from navigation. Stealth field disengaged. The Dominion fleet is staring at us, sir. Marcus allowed himself a tight smile. Let them stare. They don't know what we are yet. The ship they stood on, USS Nemesis, wasn't supposed to exist. It was a prototype, a black project so classified that most of Earth's own military hadn't known about it. Built in secret, forged from alien tech salvaged from wars humanity never admitted it fought, it was designed for one purpose, to end wars before they began. Commander O'Neill, Marcus said, turning to his tactical officer. Bring primary weapons online. Target their flagship. Sir, O'Neill said cautiously, if we fire first, the Dominion will. They already slaughtered our fleet, Commander, Marcus cut in, his voice ablade. Earth is next. We don't have time for diplomacy. Understood. On the viewscreen, Cale Thorin watched in disbelief as the strange warship's hull panels shifted, exposing glowing weapon arrays. His fleet had the numbers, dozens of cruisers, destroyers, and carriers, but something in his instincts, sharpened over decades of warfare, screamed that they were prey. Open a channel, Cale Thorin growled. A moment later, a human face appeared on his screen, Marcus Hale's face, calm, cold, and unyielding. This is Captain Marcus Hale of the USS Nemesis, he said, his voice carrying the weight of judgment. You have spilled enough human blood. You will stand down. Cale Thorin bared his fangs. You dare threaten the Dominion? You are one ship against an armada. Marcus' lips curled into something that was not quite a smile. One ship is all we need. Before the Admiral could respond, the Nemesis fired. The first shot was silent in the void, but its effects were anything but. A beam of coherent energy, pure and impossibly bright, carved across space and slammed into the Vathar Prime. The Dominion flagship's shields lasted less than a second before collapsing. The second shot tore through the ship's core. Cale Thorin had time for one final, disbelieving snarl before his vessel erupted into a sunbright explosion. The Dominion fleet panicked. Sir, enemy formations are breaking. O'Neill reported. They're scattering. Good, Marcus said. Keep the pressure on. Disable their engines, prioritize carriers. No survivors on weapons platforms. One by one, the Dominion warships fell, crippled or destroyed with surgical precision. The Nemesis moved like a predator among prey, each strike devastating, each shot a death sentence. In less than 10 minutes, what had been the most powerful fleet in the sector was reduced to smoldering wreckage. When the last Dominion vessel detonated, silence fell again. This time it was not the silence of victory for the Dominion, it was the silence of terror. Marcus exhaled slowly, his hands still clasped behind his back. Reyes, set course for Earth. Maximum speed. Aye, sir. As the Nemesis turned toward the distant blue world, Marcus glanced at the shattered battlefield behind them. The Dominion had believed humanity beaten, broken, finished. They were wrong. And now, the galaxy would learn just how wrong. News of the destruction spread faster than light. Within hours, every major Dominion war council, every neutral trade coalition, every pirate syndicate and mercenary network had heard the same impossible report: an unknown human warship had annihilated the Dominion's largest sector fleet in under 10 minutes. For centuries, the Zanari Dominion had been the unquestioned hegemon of the Perseus arm. Their fleets patrolled the trade lanes, their tribute ships stripped worlds bare, and their word was law. And now, one ship had shattered that illusion. Admiral Cale Thorin's death hit the Dominion like a thunderclap. His successors gathered in the Spire of Command, the nerve center of the Dominion's military machine. "This cannot stand," hissed arch-strategist Velrath, his spines rattling with fury. "If a single human vessel can destroy our fleets, we must strike at its source before the disease spreads." "You suggest war with Earth itself?" another asked. Velrath bared his fangs. "War? No. Extermination." The council chamber pulsed with approval. Orders were sent, fleets mobilized. The Dominion would burn Earth from orbit, and they would do it swiftly, before this Nemesis could intervene again. Captain Marcus Hale stood in the Nemesis command center, staring at a holomap of Dominion fleet movements. "They're moving faster than expected," Lieutenant Reyes said, her fingers flying across her console. 3 full fleets converging on the Sol system. Estimated time to arrival, 42 hours. Commander O'Neill clenched his jaw. "We can't intercept them all." Marcus nodded slowly. He had expected retaliation, but not this quickly, not with this much force. "Prepare Ghost Protocol," Marcus said quietly. The crew fell silent. "Sir," Reyes hesitated. "Are you sure?" "Ghost Protocol means—" "I know what it means," Marcus interrupted. His voice was steel. "Earth cannot fight this war with conventional forces. If the Dominion thinks they can erase us, we show them what we've been hiding all these years." O'Neill exhaled. "Understood. Activating Ghost Protocol." Deep within the Nemesis, sealed bays opened for the first time. Weapons humanity had never deployed: autonomous hunter drones, quantum destabilizers, rail cannons the size of buildings, came online, their hum filling the ship like a war drum. The Dominion fleets jumped into the Sol system 41 hours later. The first fleet to arrive barely had time to deploy before Nemesis was there. Marcus didn't wait. "All batteries, fire for effect." What followed wasn't a battle. It was slaughter. The Nemesis forward spinal railgun fired, hurling a tungsten slug at a fraction of light speed. The leading Dominion battleship ceased to exist. Drones swarmed from hidden launch bays, weaving between enemy ships and carving them apart with precision strikes. Dominion commanders screamed for reinforcements, but every jump gate they used spat them straight into the kill zone. The Nemesis anticipated their entry vectors, its AI calculating every possible emergence point. Cale Thorin's replacement, Fleetmaster Dravik, watched in horror as his ships died faster than they could fire. "This is impossible," he roared. "One ship cannot do this." But one ship could, and one ship did. In the command deck, Marcus kept his face unreadable. "Reyes, status?" "Second fleet entering from the outer rim," she reported. "Third fleet, holding back. Looks like they're regrouping." Marcus frowned. That was new. The Dominion rarely hesitated. "Bring us about," Marcus ordered. "We're not waiting for them to attack on their terms." As Nemesis repositioned, the Third Fleet made its move and Marcus understood too late. "Sir!" O'Neill barked. "They bypassed us, they're heading straight for Earth." Marcus felt a chill. The Nemesis was powerful, but it couldn't be everywhere at once. "Reyes," Marcus said sharply. "How long until we can intercept?" 30 minutes, she said, grimacing. "They'll be in orbital range in 10. Marcus' mind raced. 10 minutes. Earth's planetary defenses would not hold that long. Unless. He tapped the console, opening a secure channel to Earth Defense Command. "This is Captain Hale," he said. "Activate Project Aegis." On Earth, deep beneath Cheyenne Mountain, an entire bunker came alive. "Project Aegis confirmed," a general said grimly. "Deploying the shield." From the surface of Earth, people looked up and saw something they had never seen before, a shimmering barrier forming high in orbit, stretching across the planet like a second atmosphere. When the Dominion fleet arrived, they found Earth waiting, shielded, defiant, untouchable. "Fire!" Dravik ordered. Beams of energy rained down, but the barrier held. The Dominion warships hammered it again and again, their combined firepower lighting the sky like a false dawn, but Aegis did not break. Then Nemesis arrived. Marcus didn't waste words. "All guns," he said coldly. "Wipe them out." The battle that followed was the most lopsided slaughter in galactic memory. The Dominion's Third Fleet was annihilated in under 8 minutes. Not a single human civilian on Earth was harmed. When the last Dominion ship exploded, silence returned once more, but this time, it spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every world, every ruler, every warlord who had ever feared the Dominion now whispered the same thing. The balance of power was over. Humanity was no longer prey. Humanity had a nemesis. Marcus stood on the bridge, gazing down at Earth through the viewing port. "Sir," Reyes said quietly. "Message from Earth Command. They're asking if we should pursue the Dominion into their own territory." Marcus was silent for a long moment. The decision was monumental, retaliation meant total war. Finally, he spoke. "Prepare a course for Zynar Prime," he said. His voice was steady, but there was fire in his eyes. "We're taking the fight to them." The Nemesis emerged from hyperspace like a phantom. Before them lay Zynar Prime, the glittering crown jewel of the Dominion, a planet-ringed fortress bristling with orbital defenses, fleets, and planetary cannons. Commander O'Neill stared at the tactical display. "By God, that's their entire home defense force." "Then this ends today," Captain Marcus Hale said. No one on the bridge moved, no one breathed. Every officer knew this was the moment that would decide humanity's fate, not just Earth's survival, but its place in the galaxy forever. "Battle stations," Marcus said, his voice calm. "Weapons hot. Reyes, take us in." The Nemesis accelerated toward Zynar Prime, its dark hull shimmering as its shields came online. Across the planet, alarms howled. Dominion commanders scrambled to organize a response. "Unknown vessel detected," a sensor officer shouted in the Zenari command spire. "Unknown?" Arch-strategist Velrath snarled. "You mean the human warship? Destroy it. All ships, all batteries, fire." The void lit up as thousands of weapons opened fire. Energy beams, plasma lances, rail slugs, the full wrath of the Dominion home fleet. And Nemesis dove straight into it. "Shields holding," O'Neill reported, though sweat glistened on his brow. "But we can't take this punishment forever." "We won't need to," Marcus replied. "Target their orbital command hub. Fire main gun." The Nemesis forward rail cannon charged, its coils glowing white-hot, and unleashed a tungsten slug that crossed space faster than the eye could follow. The orbital hub exploded, scattering debris across the planet's atmosphere. The Dominion fleet reeled. "Push through!" Marcus barked. Like a predator breaking through a net, the Nemesis plowed forward, tearing gaps in enemy formations. Each shot was precise, surgical, command ships, power stations, shield nodes. One by one, the Dominion's homeworld defenses fell. Inside the Zanari spire, Velrath watched in mounting horror as his planet's greatest fortress network failed before his eyes. This cannot be happening, he whispered. It is happening, a voice said. Velrath spun around and froze. The voice wasn't one of his aides. It came from the main viewscreen, which now displayed Marcus Hale's face. This is Captain Hale of the USS Nemesis, Marcus said coldly. The Dominion's reign ends today. Surrender, or watch your world burn. Velrath's spines quivered with rage. You dare threaten the Dominion? We are eternal. We will rebuild, we will. Not if there's nothing left to rebuild, Marcus interrupted. Your fleets are gone. Your orbital guns are dust. And my ship is capable of erasing your capital city from orbit. This is your one chance to end this war before more die. Velrath hesitated. For the first time in centuries, the Dominion, the great conqueror of 1,000 worlds, was at someone else's mercy. Around the spire, Zanari advisors shouted, argued, panicked. Surrender meant humiliation. Refusal meant annihilation. Finally, Velrath sagged, his pride crumbling under the weight of inevitability. Cease fire, he hissed. The Dominion surrenders. On the Nemesis, the bridge went silent. O'Neill exhaled in disbelief. They actually did it. Marcus didn't celebrate. Not yet. Transmit terms of occupation. They will dismantle their fleets, withdraw from human space, and release all captured colonies. Any violation, he let the pause hang like a blade. Will be answered. Aye, sir. Hours later, the Nemesis hung in low orbit over Zynar Prime, its shadow falling across the capital city. Every Zanari could see it, a silent reminder that their dominion was over. Marcus stood alone in the observation deck, looking down at the world he had just forced to its knees. Reyes approached quietly. Sir, Earth Command reports the entire Perseus arm is in upheaval. Former vassal worlds are revolting against Dominion governors. The balance of power, it's completely gone. Marcus nodded slowly. Good. Maybe now the galaxy will think twice before coming for us again. She hesitated. And if they don't? Marcus turned, his expression hard as steel. Then they'll learn what the galaxy just learned today. Behind him, through the massive viewport, the Nemesis floated black, silent, unstoppable. No one would ever look at humanity the same way again. In the months that followed, the galaxy changed forever. The Dominion fractured, its power broken. Human colonies were liberated, alliances forged. The name Nemesis spread to every star system, spoken with awe and fear. Earth was no longer a backwater world. It was the world that ended in empire. And somewhere, in the cold void of space, the USS Nemesis patrolled silently, watching, waiting. Because the next time someone threatened humanity, there would be no warning.